bullet.
There we go. Welcome to the Porterweight Podcast. Yeah, I was going to say, put it on us. There we are. Wave to the people. What's up, everybody? We are here. Rolando Romero, Tank Davis. Fight canceled. And hurt to his heart about the situation.
I thought you broke some news. I'm like,
No, no. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Rolly was dealing with a situation.
Yeah.
He got behind
I
that.
was hurt by that situation. You remember that, huh?
Yeah. He was
'Cause I don't like that type of stuff, man, because it destroys your character.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But he got past it, and now he's about to get in the ring with 135 monster of the division,
Oh, he holding the belt up?
Gervonta Tank Davis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rolly brought his belt.
Listen, Rolly is here when you don't need to be here, and he's talking.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get some sound in here?
Yeah.
Would you have done this?
No. And to my point,
He's absorbing the moment.
I hope he's absorbing the moment.
The moment's not too big.
And I hope he's not saying, I'll never be here again. I'm going to take it all now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a maturation process. You know, this is his first big one. You know, he's been on some big undercards, and, you know, he's had some big fights himself. No knock on Rolly, but the experience that he's having now and going to have with Tank, he's not had this experience yet. So, like I said, I'm just hoping he's not here because he's soaking it all in, thinking, who knows when I'll get here again. And he's just soaking it all in because he's really out to prove something to everyone. I've been to B-side before, and I've been in the ring with people that the public genuinely didn't believe I was gonna beat.
Yeah.
And while I felt I'm not gonna say any more than I need to say, I do at some capacity admire what he's doing right now because, of course, he's out to prove us all wrong, even all of us right here on the podcast. And while I wasn't willing to say things and just allow my actions to speak in the ring, I hope he's saying some things right now and he's really believing everything that he's saying.
He's saying things and he believes
it. Yeah. What'd he say?
I don't know what he's saying, but I can tell the body language of Rolly Romero.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good to see you, man. Yes, sir.
Fight talk.
Hendry Martinez, my dad's fighter, one of the fighters from the Dominican Republic,
nice to meet you, man.
is over here now.
Okay.
And he says, man, I don't know if you remember me. I talked to you on the FaceTime when I was with Hendry. I said, yeah, I remember you. Good to see you, man.
100% Jesus. There you go.
Yes, sir.
All love.
So we hear the action has not started yet. Of course, once the action starts, we will quiet down and allow the press conference to handle itself.
So what's this moment like, Shawn?
You know, and again, him soaking everything in.
Yeah, stream looks frozen.
But nice picture though.
Yeah, it is a nice picture, right?
Got us froze in the moment.
Hafey hacked it with his camera.
Hafey the hacker.
Hacker Hafey.
Oh man. Oh man.
Ryan the hacker Hafey.
Ooh, that would be a good boxing name.
Oh,
right?
it's done. It's done.
No,
It's done.
Ryan the hacker.
He's going to sleep.
He's
going
no
to sleep.
longer Hafey. He's hacker.
Hey, but he's known to have a weak chin in his jeans.
What you mean? What you mean?
Hey, it's your dog. It's your son. No. It's a weak body. He got a body like Keith Thurman in his jeans. But you can take it. Your family can take headshots. Oh, is that the mom? Is that the mom's side? Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm going.
Keith got a weak body.
Yeah.
That's what they say. They say glass body.
I don't understand what's going on with that, but
You hit him. What happened?
He admitted it years down the line. He admitted that you actually hurt him. But for
Yeah.
years, he retains
that.
I wouldn't admit it either.
That's Shawn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you knew you hurt him?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's running.
Well, of course, the punch landed, and so I felt that. But then once he started to move the way he was moving,
Food.
yeah, it was like, go get him. You know what I mean? But
Hey, he protects his body well.
and I was gonna say, boxing is one of them things. You're like, man, you got hurt. Why didn't you get him out of there? And it's like, not everybody you can just jump on him and get him out of there.
Shawn,
Keith ain't one of them
thing I learned
guys.
about boxing as I started to know boxing more, easier said than done.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, people say stupid stuff. Oh, why didn't you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get? Let's get Horse on real quick.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Why we got?
Uh-oh.
Are we good?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This that guy right here.
I just learned some things about you, big man.
Come on now.
Okay.
Just learned some things about you.
What's up, my brother?
You got to talk into the mic. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah, come on.
You know how that
Sean.
goes.
What's going
Come
on,
on, you
brother?
better.
Or pull it up to yourself.
I got you.
Our screen went off over here. You got a podcast.
I just started one, me and Sway, like a year ago called Briggs Business.
Y'all been on for a year?
For like 11 months.
Okay.
11 months.
That's not just starting.
No, but you know what it was? It was a Zoom thing. You know what I mean? It was a Zoom thing, so
Okay.
it wasn't something that was like, you know, out and open. It was a Zoom
Pick it
thing.
up.
Yeah, you can pick up the mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It was a Zoom thing and
Yeah.
all that. That's all it basically was. It was a Zoom thing.
Okay.
It was a Zoom thing that just kind of evolved.
Because you know what it is? As a fan of boxing, that's what it is. It's not even a podcast. I just want to say it's like, I don't want to call it couch talk or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I just want to call it like, you know, we just fans of boxing. We're going to watch every fight that come on anyway, and we're going to discuss it.
Yeah.
And it's argument. It's like barbershop talk. We're going to argue about it.
Yeah.
You know, people got their favorite fighters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how many arguments I got over you, Sean? I
Oh.
argue with you a lot.
Yeah.
So, actually, we built our just a relationship, just arguing over it. And,
Yeah.
and then the business behind it, I always was a fan of the business behind it, man, because I always look at boxers like you have a lifespan far as being, you know, your core of money
Yeah.
to you like 35. That's really it. Like cut up, like retire, bro. Like honestly, 'cause I hate to see fighters fight after 35, especially if you've been doing this since you was like 10
Yeah.
and traveling and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yep.
I like to see these young fighters make investments and do certain things that I feel like they should do, like even merchandise. You know, dudes could make $1 million worth of, you know, $1 million off T-shirts and socks. You know, think about it. You got 3 million fans.
We talked about that yesterday.
You got 3 million fans.
And you said something to me that I didn't really even like kind of like understand, but you said the lifespan of a fighter is 30 years. And then so I've been kind of keeping count for a little while now because I have to say these things on the podcast and stuff. I said, yeah, I put in 26 years. And that's me starting to compete at the age of 8.
You see that?
Retiring at the age of 34 was 26 years. You add another 4 years to that, I'm 38. 30 years, 38 is when everybody is expecting a fighter to retire.
But you know what it is, too? I look at it. The life of a boxer is lonely. I don't think people really realize that. To me, a real champion, a person of greatness, his life is lonely because it's based on his craft, it's based on putting work in, and then the time that you have for yourself, you want to put in with your family, your loved ones. You know what I mean? So when do you have homeboys and stuff like that? If your homeboys ain't into boxing and sports and stuff like that, really, like if you, like you said, if you started off when you was 8, so think about you had friends when you was 8 and you grew up and you started doing this, you played football and you left behind. Guess what, Sean? You work out by yourself every day. You jog by yourself every day.
Yep.
So it's a lonely thing by yourself. So I look at that and say, hey, as a young man coming up in this business and you seeing the likes of, you know, think about back in the days, you know, the Mike Tysons and the Holyfields, and they didn't have no social media where they have a following. You have a fan. You know, you had a fan club. But you got an actual social media right now where you go, hey, right now, all you guys stop what you're doing and go to my website and get this and get that, you know?
Yeah. And that's what we talked about yesterday. For me, me retiring is twofold because while I retired after I accomplished every goal that I wanted to accomplish in the sport of boxing, I retired at the age of 34. People, everyone says you don't do that. Even people close to me, like nobody retires at 34. Well, I'm retiring at 34. That's unheard of in the sport of boxing. Well, guess what? I want to set a precedent.
Yes.
I want to set an understanding
Yes.
that while this length of time that you can be in this sport is upwards to 30 years, or that's what the expectancy is.
Absolutely.
You can change the narrative based on what you decide to do with your life. So I have so many more things that I decided that I want to do with my life that it went from 30 to being 26. But guess what? If I do another 4 years, there's no telling what my health is going to be like.
And that's the
after
key.
doing them for
That's the
third
key
years.
right there, health, Sean.
So while fighting and while being a professional athlete, we always paid attention to my health.
Yes.
And we always monitor my health all the way till we got to a point where we can make this happen. And now we found ourselves almost wanting a week where there's nothing going on in the sport,
Yes.
so that we can bring on a guest that's outside of the sport, or so we can talk about something that's outside of the sport, because we all of us on the podcast have so many more dimensions to ourselves than just talking about boxing, and that's that's the evolution.
And like you said, a lot of the old timers, one thing they didn't have that these young kids has, the cheat code.
Yeah.
This is a cheat code. You can make millions of dollars off this.
Absolutely. But you know what it is? What they have right now is change. And this
Yes.
I always feel.
Yeah.
I feel like in boxing since the early 50s, 60s, the change of, when I say change, I'm like, judges. I don't even know how to become a boxing judge. You know, I always feel like if there's a championship fight, I feel like to be a judge, you should have been a WBC champion at one time, or IBF champion at one time, or one of the champions of one of the sanctions, because you know what it feels like to get robbed. You know what it feels like to earn that, right?
Yeah.
So that's like going in a dunk contest and Michael Jordan and Dr. J's not the judges. Like, how you going to get somebody that can't even dunk, judge your dunk? You know what I mean?
That ain't happening.
No, it did happen before. You know, it happened in basketball all the time. You know, they put a celebrity guy up there.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
And he'll give somebody like an 8. You be like, yo, dogs, you know what he just did just now? That shit was impossible.
I mean, D-Wade be wilding sometimes.
But, but guess what, though? He know how to dunk. You've seen him in the game before. But I feel like in boxing, it's the change, Sean. So I feel like guys like you that's in the boxing, that can speak right, that knows what's going on, know the business behind it. I think like not being tied to too much things, you can speak your truth now and give out jewels and stuff. So if the kids don't want to pick up the jewels, that's their fault. But long as the jewels is being passed down by somebody that they look at.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do with this podcast. We get into a lot of conversations where, how does this work? How does that work? What would you do in this situation? What would you do in that situation, whether that's in the ring or out of the ring? And I try to give the best analytical perspective possible, taking my bias out. And I think that people have really understood that I do this because I understand the worth that I have. Like my dad said, my dad would tell me, I'm giving you all this game for free. I'm giving you game that other kids would be starving for. You need to take it and use it.
Yo, but think about that. You have a father, right? So a father that a caring, loving father that's in your life, that was in your life from small, right? That was teaching you the art, and there's guys that don't have that.
Yeah.
And the person that they have to trust is some man they just met, or some guy that they looked at as a father figure.
But trusting a stranger.
And stuff like that. You trusting a stranger. So that's why I say with the business, with a guy like you, there's younger fighters that look up to you and know it. And you don't look old to me at all. I mean, you retired, man. You look like you fresh to get in there right now. I mean, you see this guy. This guy, he look like he's ready to get in there. But I think that's what it is, the motivation of people seeing you continue to do something outside of the ring and be successful.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Let's go back to your podcast real quick. The Bridge.
It's Bridge Business. One
Bridge
word,
Business.
Bridge Business.
Oh, Bridge Business.
Yes, Bridge Business. And Shawn, honestly, it's my fault. Sean, let me let y'all know out there, Shawn is he's my favorite fighter in that weight class. Ever since Marvin Hagler retired, I left that weight class and was strictly heavyweight. I didn't want to deal with none of that no more. After I met Shawn and seen this guy coming up, he was the only person that reminded me of the dog that Hagler had. To this day, nobody in that division have the dog like Hagler but Shawn. So I always felt like, Shawn was my favorite fighter as far as like entertaining and all that stuff. So it's like a pleasure just to sit here and the things that he showed me as far as like in the business, and him and his father took time out and we built a relationship for as friends, and I really appreciate that. And I want to do a Bridge Business podcast with you, like far as an episode with you, Ant. I love Ant because I want to watch a fight with Ant because I could imagine me and this guy just looking at the fight.
What's crazy is we both like each other, and I just heard him talking one time on Sway, and Shawn was there. You remember the day he called in? It was hyped. I'm like, I like that dude. I gotta meet this dude. Thought it never was gonna happen, but
definitely it's a Bridge Business podcast, man, and I'm here for fighters and entrepreneurs.
I want to talk about the podcast real quick.
Okay.
Is it a boxing podcast?
It's a podcast based on entertainment and business merging together. Yeah. And boxing actually was the platform that it started on.
Yeah.
So me being a boxing fan and loving the sport of boxing, I just wanted to talk to some boxers that I really never had a chance to talk to and wanted to see what their life was about. Yeah. And like even with you, Shawn, like there's so many things in that I would love to talk to you about. That I'm gonna say I'll talk to you about it here one day, but I would like how did you get into, like, think about it. When you're into this business and you have to get a sponsor or somebody to back you, Top Rank, or the Zone, or PBC, whatever, etc. How how do you choose that? You know, how do you just go about saying, well, you know what, should you play hard to get, or you know, how do you audition for
Everybody can't be like. Everybody has their own path. My dad's path was playing hard to get. I love this story. We got a contract from Don King, and I don't think I'm breaking any laws here. We got a contract from Don King, and we only got 100 on here, so it's all good. And my dad looked at the contract, and well, first of all, let me go back and say this: before I even turned pro, my dad was already in contact with lawyers. We had some lawyers that we had been in contact with.
Your dad
since
knew
I
what
was
he
a
had.
kid.
Okay.
Since I was a
Damn.
kid, not for boxing.
Okay.
But just friendships that we had by people, lawyers that were in the boxing, were in boxing, and my dad kind of grew up with those guys, so on and so forth. And so my dad, once it came time for me I told my dad I wanted to turn pro.
Okay.
I told my dad I wanted to turn pro in 2000 when I was 18, and he waited until I was 20, almost 21, before he actually turned me pro.
Wow.
And the course of those 3 years, my dad was with a lawyer.
Wow.
My dad was asking questions about contracts, asking questions about management, and the list goes on. So by the time it came time for us to sign and all that kind of stuff, my dad already knew what the game was. We got a contract from Don King. I'm not going to tell you all the details of the contract, but my dad says we can't sign this contract. I said, Dad, why can't we sign this contract? He said, we sign this contract now, you'll be looking at the same contract in 10 years, and we can't do that.
See that?
What we're going to do is bet on ourselves. And then when we're ready to sign, then they'll really have to give us what we're worth.
Because I think that most fighters need to hear that, because you got to remember, fighters only look at other fighters and want results.
Yep.
So if you see a fighter do that, I want to do that. You know, he's over there with the money team. I want to be with the money team because I can get that.
I got no problem with Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff. I love fast cars, you know that. But a fighter tells me that how much money he's going to make on the fight, I'm going to tell you not saying that that's wrong. I'm going to tell you better things to do with your money.
Absolutely.
Invest that money.
Absolutely.
Find a way to buy that car on credit, opposed to paying cash for it, and now the car's then depreciated, and you know nothing about depreciation.
But think about when you sleep. Can you make money when you sleep?
Yeah.
So that money that you brought for that car.
Kids don't want to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. But that money you brought for that car, you could have brought. When they said that bottle, that dollar that brought a bottle could have struck the lotto. So
Also, you know, one thing I know is about Shawn, different fighters. Shawn doesn't have an entourage.
Absolutely.
And for the most part, all of us, we all work jobs. We can carry our own. And that's one thing. So that means when Shawn eats, okay, if Shawn has an entourage of 20, now he has to eat. Shawn has to feed everybody.
Absolutely.
That's all adding up.
But like I said, that's a lot of these guys out here that playing catch up because they were kids that were growing up lonely by themselves. Because like I said, being a boxer is a lonely thing. So now you got these guys that's with you and hanging with you and making you feel cool. So you want to be like them. So you wear the jewelry. You don't even know how to pronounce half of the Italian names and clothes. Balenciaga, whatever.
But you got it.
But no, tell them to spell it. You know, you can spell it. That's even better.
If you can't spell it, you can't
That's
buy
it.
it.
But you know, when you got
Put your wallet away.
when you got jewels like that coming up when you're younger, you know, when you get the money, it's not hard to balance it out. You know what I mean? So I always respected that father and son relationship, especially when your father's watching the money. You know what I mean? Making sure that you're making the right decisions.
Man, listen, my dad took care of me, and forever grateful. And the best part about that, I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't have fathers or don't have fathers that aren't going to take care of them, or don't even have the knowledge and wisdom to take care of them the way that my dad did.
Yeah.
But now all I do is whenever I come in contact with a fighter, I give you as much as I can in that moment of where did I get it from. I don't give nobody nothing that my dad didn't give me. And I do believe that everything my dad gave me, whether it was physical, it was mental, it was emotional, whatever it was, I feel like my dad did the best that he could.
But he did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job, and here it is now. You know, you're doing the Porter Way podcast, and you know you got Ant and all the guys coming in. And look, these are your friends and your guys that talking sport.
Did you see me yesterday at the at Gleason's? They had me go over there and talk to the kids.
I saw you over there.
So they approached me and asked me to come talk to the kids, right? And as I'm walking over there, I just had the thought to myself, like this is what my dad would do. And like it makes it that much easier for me to just go over there and talk to them. And then I actually had a situation with the young lady who's dealing with brain cancer right now, I took exactly what I told this lady dealing with brain cancer and took all of that and told it to all of the kids that are in the boxing ring. And I told them, tell everybody right here on the podcast, what you get from boxing, you get it from the other sports, but the repetition that you get it from in boxing, it far exceeds any other sport out there.
Yeah, but especially the sportsmanship.
All these other sports have leagues.
Yeah.
Not leagues. They have seasons.
Okay.
There's off season. You don't have to live that sport year round.
Yeah.
Boxing, you live year round.
Year round, you live boxing.
And what you get from boxing year round is value.
Yes. But you get value, but it all depends. Like I said, today the way that the game is being played is more of the business aspect instead of the sport. I think that more guys are looking at, they want to be everything.
Yeah.
They want to wear more than one hat.
Yeah. But the ones that are going to get to the top and stay at the top are the ones that value what they did at the bottom.
And listen to the jewels that people that came. Like, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you? So the podcast, or excuse me, the podcast, the press conference is about to get going.
I appreciate y'all for having me. Briggs
Business.
Briggs Business.
Is
one
it
word.
Once a week, once a month?
We
y'all kind of y'all spotty.
Yeah, we spotty.
Okay.
Spotty. We're not dedicated there.
Okay.
But
And
we
then-
got we on BuzzFeed and all that. So we got Spotify and all of that. So check out Briggs Business. One word. You can catch a couple of episodes on Sway's Universe. Definitely.
Boom.
Appreciate you, Sean.
You know it.
Appreciate y'all.
No, it's all love.
Hey, what's up, Connor? Doing great.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Brooklyn. This is the final press conference for Davis versus Romero. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. And on Saturday, May 28th, Showtime pay-per-view and boxing is back at Barclays Center here in Brooklyn. You know, it's been 2.5 years since the Barclays Center in Brooklyn has hosted a major event. In fact, it was Showtime Championship Boxing who last held an event at the Barclays Center before the pandemic started. But we're back at the new mecca of boxing here on the East Coast, and we're bringing one of the sport's biggest box office stars. And trust me, that's not hyperbole. If you read the New York Daily News this past week, the headline, Gervonta Tank Davis fight on track to break record for the highest grossing boxing event at Barclays Center. It's big. It's big. Listen, whether it's the quiet demeanor, whether it's that charismatic smile, or whether it's that dynamite in his fists, Tank Davis is box office and one of the sport's pound-for-pound best. But on Saturday, man, he's got his hands full because it's a grudge match for respect. Davis and Rolando Romero, well, let's just say they've had some beef for years. But they finally get to settle it with their fists in the ring Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view. Let's talk about Rolando Romero. He's unbeaten, just like Tank. He's the #1 contender. And just like Davis, known for power, known for knockouts. Listen, somebody's L has to go on Saturday, along with a certified ass whooping. That's what we got coming in Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view. It will headline the whole card on Showtime pay-per-view from Barclays Center. 4 fights on that fight card. Broadcast begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 o'clock Pacific time. It is presented by Premier Boxing Champions. It's being promoted by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, and of course, TGB Promotions as well. Now listen, you want to be in the house. You want to be at Barclays Center on Saturday, but you got to act fast. Tickets are going fast. I've gotten word that there are only a few hundred left. But you can purchase tickets at SeatGeek.com, BarclaysCenter.com. Tickets are also available at the American Express box office there at Barclays Center as well. You want to order the fight, you can order Showtime pay-per-view. You can do it through Showtime.com. You can also do it through the Showtime app, also through all your traditional satellite pay-per-view providers. Let me bring here to the podium one of the promoters, the main promoter of this fight card. He's the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe.
Thank you, Brian. Saturday night. Can't get here fast enough. I've been in and around the sport for well over 45 years. And I can honestly say this is probably one of the most anticipated fights that I've been involved with. And I've seen some of the biggest fights. We promoted the biggest fights in the history of the sport. But as far as anticipation, and it's kind of I have a mixed feeling about it because obviously, you know, we promote both guys. So come Saturday night, somebody is going to lose and somebody's getting knocked out. Okay? I know both guys are in tremendous shape. They've had excellent camps. No matter what anyone says, Tank has gotten up for this fight. Rolly's gotten up for this fight. And in my eyes, and anyone with common sense should know this is a very, very dangerous fight for both guys. Sometimes the person who's supposed to win, it doesn't come out like that. Sometimes the person who's supposed to win gets it done. They go in there and they show that person that they don't belong in the ring with them, that they're not on that level. But over the last year, we've all witnessed Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Anthony Joshua, Chris Colbert, all came into.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you as well. Let me bring here to the podium now, of course, the man who runs the network, the undisputed leader when it comes to boxing. He's the president, general manager of Showtime Sports, Steven Espinoza.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Brian. This is the third fight on a very intense 6-week stretch of 6 consecutive weekends of high-level boxing on Showtime. Part of an incredible run of top-tier fights. And we have quite a streak going. Our last 4 main event fights, we got 4 all-action fights, 4 stoppages, 4 decisive endings, you know, featuring some of the best fighters in the sport. April 9th, Lubin Fondora, Fight of the Year quality fight, Fight of the Year candidate. In a thrilling back-and-forth fight, Fondora gets a stoppage in the 9th round. April 16th, Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas, another thrilling fight, and a 10th round TKO. 2 weeks ago, the big fight for the undisputed title, Charlo Castaño, another thrilling fight. Charlo makes history with a 10th round knockout. Also on that card, Jaron Ennis with a very impressive knockout over previously unbeaten Castillo Clayton. And then last week, very impressive performance by David Benavidez with a 3rd round KO. And now we have this grudge match between one of the sport's brightest young stars and most popular champions in Gervonta Davis and his most heated rival, the power-punching knockout artist Rolando Romero. And there's more to come. Of course, we have Fulton Roman next week, Showbox week after, and a big Charlo fight against Sulecki in Houston. But bottom line, no other network in boxing anywhere in the world is televising more meaningful, high-stakes, entertaining fights. And these guys are all competitive. They watch each other's fights, and that's why we're on this run. No one wants to put up a boring performance in this streak of big-time fights. And I am very, very confident that this streak of stoppages is going to continue. I don't see how this goes 12 rounds. It just doesn't make sense to me. This Saturday will be the 40th boxing event at Barclays Center. The first since the pandemic started in March 2020. Showtime televised the first boxing event ever at Barclays Center. Since then, we've done 20 more, which means this Saturday will be the 22nd Showtime fight at Barclays Center, more than every other network combined. Tank's first fight at Barclays Center was memorable in itself. His first title fight, 7th round stoppage of super featherweight world champion Jose Pedraza. Since then, he's sold out venues in LA, in Atlanta, in Baltimore, and now back to Brooklyn, where he's on track for another sellout. This will be Tank's 12th time fighting on Showtime, and we're thrilled that we've seen him develop and grow up and mature into one of the biggest stars in boxing. But every time Tank steps into the ring, it's not just a fight, it's an event. You've seen the showmanship, you've seen the celebrities, you've seen the excitement, and this one may be the most exciting fight that Tank's been participating in yet. You know, the sport of boxing is in a very good place. There's a new generation of young stars, and the future is very bright. But when you talk about the young stars of boxing, Tank's in a class by himself. His popularity, his fan base, it's resulted in huge crowds, literally coast to coast. There isn't another young fighter in the sport that generates the kind of buzz, the kind of excitement that Tank does. You know, but none of that matters on Saturday night. I mean, it matters to the crowd, but once we get in the ring and the bell rings, then obviously it's a whole different story. Rolly has proven himself one of the biggest punchers in boxing. First with a first-round KO on Showbox back in 2019, 3 wins on Showtime Championship Boxing, including a 7th-round destruction of former title challenger Anthony Yiggett, even though Yiggett came in as a much bigger fighter. You can call him awkward, you can call him orthodox, you can say anything you want. One thing you can't argue with is Rolly's power. And that's what has everybody so intrigued. There's a great undercard with this. We've got featuring both well-known, battle-tested veterans and some of the most exciting young fighters in the sport. 2-division world champion Arislandi Lara defending his WBA title against Gary O'Sullivan. And then 2 young rising stars. Jesus Ramos, just 21 years old, 18-0, 15 KOs, is putting his unbeaten record on the line against a very tough Luke Santamaria. Santamaria, as you all know, recently fought Jesus' uncle, Abel, and Jesus is looking to avenge that loss. And then the opener, one of the best-kept secrets in the lighter weights, Eduardo Ramirez, who is one of the best super featherweights in the world, will battle Puerto Rico's Luis Melendez, a very tough Luis Melendez, in a 10-round super featherweight thriller. This will be an exciting night. We're proud to be part of another record-setting event, and it's something you can't miss. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you, Stephen. I love the way he crafts, gives you the storylines for the fight, get you all excited. But let's be honest, folks. When it comes to this sport, sometimes when you're fighting your rival, you just want to get in the ring and say, yo, I'm coming to shut you the F up. That's what we got in the main event. Basically, that's what we have. This thing is going to be fireworks. So let's talk about the fight. Let me introduce some of the guys here at the podium first. To my right, to your left, I mean, since Tank was a youngin', he, along with Kenny Ellis, have trained him on that west side of Baltimore, Upton Boxing Center. Mr. Calvin Ford, everybody. To my left, you're right. 6 years ago, took Rolando Romero under his wing, turned the young man from a martial artist into a championship-level fighter. He is Mr. Cromwell Bullet Gordon. And now, let me introduce the fighters. Start with the challenger. Unbeaten. 14-0. 12 knockouts. 8 of his last 9 fights have ended in a knockout. He is Rolando Romero. Good, Rolly. Come on up here. Give a word to the people. And listen, I just got a new blazer too, so, you know.
Look, I just want to say to everybody here, I mean, I'm excited to be over here fighting at the Barclays over here. We're going to have the biggest event ever in the history of Barclays, and I'm excited to be part of that. Make sure to buy a pay-per-view, and you guys going to see Tank's going to get knocked down in 1 round, just like that. Nothing else need to be said.
Now the champion. 26-0. 24 knockouts. Listen, before his last fight, he had a streak of 16 straight knockouts that began in 2015. His 92% knockout percentage against his opponents, that's the second highest of any current title holder. He's known as Tank. Fighting out of Baltimore, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Thank everybody for coming out, man. I appreciate you guys. I definitely appreciate Mayweather Promotion, Al Heyman, my personal team. I'm ready, man. I'm happy to be at this point. I feel as though the talking is over. It's time is now. So I'm ready. We've been working hard in this camp. We know that, you know, Rolly gonna come out and try to knock me out in the first round, he say. So I'll be ready for that. So I see y'all Saturday, man. The time is now. Ain't no more talking and all this. And I definitely appreciate everybody for coming out for sure. But it's no more talking. The time is here, and I'm ready.
Love it.
Thank y'all.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the fight. Tank, we'll start with you. How does it feel to be back here, New York City, obviously Brooklyn, where the title reign began?
Did I say shout out to Showtime? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
We're good.
But definitely, I'm excited to be back in Barclays. New York, period. New York is definitely a great city. It always showed me love when I came here. It always been like a second home to me, so I'm definitely grateful to be back. I think I forget his name. The one with the son? What's his name? Brett? Okay, yeah, shout out to him. I don't really know his name, but I know he's a big Tank fan, so he always showed me love when I come here, so I'm definitely excited, man. I won my first title here. Then I lost my title on the scale and then came back and won another title in New York at the Barclays. So a lot of people don't know that, but I'm definitely excited to be here. I feel as though this is definitely good for boxing, and it's a boxing town. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. All in all, I'm grateful to be here. I'm maturing. I'm still learning as I walk this path. And what can I say, man? I got the people that I started with around me. They still around me, and I'm just grateful to be here. So Saturday night is his due date.
Rolling? It's one thing to be fighting on pay-per-view. It's another thing, as you talked about, becoming a star of boxing, and you can be, this city produces stars. Your thoughts on fighting in New York City, pay-per-view against Tank?
Well, I mean, just being in this position is just like amazing. You know, I started boxing at 17. A lot of people don't realize this. I'm probably the fastest world champion in the history of boxing. I did it with 7 years, you know. I only have 14 fights. I don't know anybody else on the pay-per-view platform fighting with only 14 fights, other than, well, with the exception of the YouTubers, you know. So I did it faster than everybody else, and they have me here for a reason, you know. And like I said, I'm the new face of boxing. Y'all gonna see May 28th, knock Tank out.
Gervonta, if someone said, describe this fight that you're about to have with Rolando Romero, how would you describe it?
Fireworks. It's gonna be crazy in there. I just hope he don't use his elbows like he do a lot. That's it. That's it. We just gotta worry about his elbows. That's it. And I ain't gonna even say it. We know some things.
Rolly, same question to you. Someone said, describe this fight you're about to have with Gervonta Davis. How would you describe it?
What about all the little low blows that you threw at Little Santa Cruz, or when you hit Francisco Fonseca in the back of the head where they should have DQ'd your ass? Shut the fuck up.
He's crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm telling the truth, and you know it. They should have DQ'd your ass. And Little Santa Cruz, you hit him a low blow like 20, 30 seconds before you knocked him out.
Who?
Santa Cruz. Or you forgot about that. Oh, yeah, you're punchy. I forgot.
Gervonta, how much do you think his awkward style is what they describe, Rolly's style, how much will that pose a challenge to you Saturday?
I don't think he's awkward. I just think that he's a fighter that's just started fighting. That's, you know how when somebody first come in the gym and like yeah. When somebody first come in the gym and they've been coming for like a little minute, so they think they nice now. They ain't get all the everything down packed, but that's how he fight. I don't think he's an awkward fighter. Awkward is somebody, I don't want to call them names, but awkward is like different from him. He's not awkward. We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumbass fighter. No, I'm not trying to be funny, but.
Rolly?
All Tank does same basic ass pad work as everybody else, and they all end up getting knocked the fuck out eventually when they run into a puncher. Just like his big bro Broner with Maidana, when he beat the shit out of Maidana, it's gonna be Broner Maidana too.
You don't got the skills of Maidana. You don't even got them skills.
Man, I punch harder than him, and I got way more skills than you. We're like what? Cause you'd go, oh, we're down. Like,
look at him.
Fuck shit, no damn skills. Like fucking like doing all that. Like the only one doing that shit is Floyd. He's the only one that can do that shit. And you can't do that shit for shit.
What?
Oh wait. Oh, and don't you get punched in the face by everybody? Then you get punched in the face by fucking Santa Cruz. Oh, then Pitbull beat the fuck out of you, man. Shut the fuck up.
But you was just on the interview talking about I beat Santa Cruz. I mean Cruz. You said that soon after the fight. You said that. It's on camera.
Yeah, I have to say that shit if I want to get this fight. Right?
Right.
Otherwise, they'd fucking get the damn rematch. Motherfucker. Oh, wait. Hey, you want a rematch? Fuck no. Motherfucker, you a bitch. You scared as shit. Shut the
Rolly,
fuck up.
let me ask you a question, Rolly.
Trash.
You've been very adamant. You've been very adamant that you're going to stop him in one round. Can you enlighten us?
Man,
Tell us why. Tell us why you're so
there's
confident.
no way I can miss. He has a big ass head like the koala shaped head. You're fucking koala with chlamydia, man.
What?
Motherfucker, you pissing flame. Shut the fuck up.
What? What are you saying? You're not even saying nothing.
Gervonta, you know, one of the things.
Look, it's time. It's time. Look, it's time. Time is now. Fuck all the talking. Time is now, bro.
May 28th, I'm gonna knock Gervonta the
yes.
fuck out. Y'all gonna see this on the
Okay.
face of boxing, on the biggest name in boxing. Y'all gonna see this shit. May 28th, Barclays Center, buy the pay-per-view.
What?
Gervonta, let me ask you this.
No, seriously.
Hey, why don't you show everybody your fucking purse again?
Come on, bro.
Hold on 1 second. Gervonta, one of the things you talked about, you said, look, I'm going in for business. but I'm also going to show folks I am what I say I am. Tell us what you mean by that. You said people have been sleeping on you.
Hey, Gervonta, what color you gonna paint your nails on fight night?
Hold on.
For real, what color you gonna paint your nails on fight night? I want to know. Are they gonna match your outfit?
Oh my God, this guy's a clown. This is not.
And you a girl.
But to answer your question, I just want to, you know what I mean? I just want to show people that it's different levels. You know what I mean? It's definitely different levels when you come to the sport of boxing. It's people that play with boxing, and it's people that been doing this since they was, you know what I mean, kids. You got somebody that's been doing this since they was 7, and somebody that was doing this since they was 17. Like, come on, bro. It's time to show that I'm one of them ones. Like, I ain't nothing to be played with. And it just start with him. It's going to continue. And I mean it, for sure. And it ain't even about, like, this fight. It's about going forward. You know what I mean? Showing them that I'm the top guy of 135 or 130 or 140.
We'll wrap it up with this. Rolling, for, let's say, 1 million people will buy this pay-per-view. Let's say the thousands that have come into the Barclays Center. What can you guarantee that they're going to get when they step into that arena or they turn on Showtime pay-per-view on Saturday, May 28th?
Tank flatline on the ground. So show up at Barclays Center May 28th and buy the pay-per-view.
Tank, same for you. For those people who are going to spend their hard-earned money to come see you guys fight, what can you guarantee they're going to get on Saturday?
Fireworks. Fireworks. Like I said, all the talking is done, man. Time is now. Definitely. Definitely.
That's it. It is Saturday, Showtime pay-per-view. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com, BarclaysCenter.com. You can purchase them at the American Express box office at the Barclays Center. You can go to Showtime.com to purchase the fight. Go to the Showtime app as well. You got 2 unbeaten fighters, Gervonta Tank Davis, Rolando Romero, Saturday, May 28th, Showtime pay-per-view. We're gonna have these guys face off here. Let's have you guys face off here. All right?
Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
Yeah, they talking about doing a face-off, but I don't think they're going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Well, look, you see Andrew right there. You see Kelly right there. So they're not going to do it. You think they calm enough to do a face-off?
It'll be a great face-off. I'm here for it. Carson, you here for it?
They there for it.
Okay.
They there for it. What'd you say? You said, Carson, you here for it?
Hey, Andrew down there. Andrew
Carson,
gonna
you
break it up.
here for it, Carson?
Andrew gonna break it up. Andy, you here for it? Andrew got it.
They're professionals.
Yeah.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. He already got us there. He got us there.
I was.
No, yeah. Then I pointed to you. Yeah. Nah. Turn him up.
Mic check.
I got you.
There you go, right there. My boy. What's your name? What's up, Lewis? My boy been giving me work. Appreciate him for That's right. Watch him.
Can't give a lot of shout-outs.
Most definitely. And not here to ask
Coach Cal. Coach Cal in the house.
Here we go, folks. This is 2 unbeaten fighters. 2 unbeaten fighters.
Let's go.
Rolando Romero, 14-0. Gervonta Tank Davis, 26-0. It's for the WBA championship.
Watch Rolly hands.
It's a fight for respect. Saturday, May 28th, Barclays Center.
Tank's got his hands up high. They both dropped their hands.
Coach Cal saying so. What Coach Cal saying?
They're doing good. They're doing good. Bullet in the middle now. Bullet breaking it up.
Coach Bullet like.
Let him go, Coach Bullet.
Look, see?
Oh, we got
Grown
clean.
man, grown
Okay.
man.
No,
grown
did,
man.
did that go as expected?
No, I was wondering. Fire.
Well, I said as expected, not.
Yeah.
Carson got Tank flatlining.
The adults handled it.
And then Bullet. There go Bullet.
Now everybody doing their interviews.
So now everybody running to get the interviews in. We got a couple guys. We want to get some interviews in right quick. We got Eric B right here, but I got to get Ryan Clark on this podcast. Let me see if my man will come sit down with us for a hot second. Because I know B gonna be here for a minute. Yeah, he gonna be here for. Yeah, so he gonna be here for a minute. I got a feeling Clark gonna try to run up out of here. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm a big football fan. So when I can talk some football, I'm gonna do that. But we not gonna talk football with
He's not. We can talk football.
Yeah, but I just want to holler at him for a second. Let me see if we can get him on. Yo, you can jump on real quick?
Sean, Carson, what you want to ask Ryan Clark? I got you, Carson.
Why you spinning?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you connected to the internet, aren't you? Oh, Coach Bullet.
Coach Bullet getting hot over here.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, they getting hot. It's getting hot. The temperature's getting live right
I almost jumped up to protect Ryan Clark. Did you? Almost, yeah.
Then I have to jump and protect you now.
I almost jumped up to help out. Yeah. Come sit down for a hot second. Real quick.
We'll get you in and out of here.
I promise you, 5 minutes. And I know how it goes, so I'm going to give you a real 5 minutes.
All right, sweet.
Throw them on right quick.
Yep, I can hear you.
Ryan Clark, welcome to the Porterweight Podcast.
What's up, man? We were talking about you earlier.
Turn it over right quick. Talking about me?
Yeah, who were we talking about it with? We did an interview with what is it? Def Pen.
You got a podcast, right?
Yeah, The Pivot. It's called
The Pivot, yes, sir.
So
yeah.
we did it with Def Pen, and they were asking us about being more busy, and they mentioned you having a podcast and being more busy now.
Yeah.
After boxing.
Yeah.
Or doing something different than boxing than you were even. Because it's regimented.
We did. I did. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 2 in Las Vegas, and it was an ESPN and Fox co-network production.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had a whole bunch of other people there doing their thing. Booker T was there.
Okay.
And I said, he didn't know. This was a couple years ago, but I knew I was on my way out of the boxing game. So I just said, hey, are you busy now?
Right.
You retired. He said, get ready. He said, you're gonna be more busy after boxing
Yeah.
than you were the entire time you fought. And that's how I expected this, and I kind of have put myself in some really good positions at this point to really continue to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
Even though I don't get to broadcast the fights on Showtime the way I would love to, I still get to come out here with my podcast,
right,
and get it and keep it cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think but that's also too. It gives you an opportunity to do media in a different way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like you'll get an opportunity in doing podcasting where you'll get to branch out and you don't just have to do boxing.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like on our show, man, we've had, we had Michael Beasley, we had Shaq, we had Floyd, we had Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Before he fought you guys.
I've seen a couple of your shows.
We've done MMA fighters, and so I think that's the awesome thing for athletes like us.
Yeah.
That people try to box in 2-hour sport.
Yeah.
And saying we can only do something, especially as just keep it real, especially as black men.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
We don't get the opportunities to host, so it's awesome that you're doing
You can count on one finger how many of those guys do it, and so even for me, the podcast is also another way to show these other networks. Eventually, if you do want me to talk football,
right.
Oh yeah, I can talk a little Ryan Clark. Eventually, if you do want me to talk NBA, I can talk a little bit of Cavs and Golden State, and the list goes on. I am definitely versed in sports in general. I love sports in general, but even beyond that, I see what you do on the Pivot, and I like to do more of that on the Porterweight Podcast. Motivate these people, give these people more to look forward to than just, you was a football player. What can you tell me about football? Now I can tell you about life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
And so that's what I see going on the Pivot, and I just want to bring you over here real quick and tell you I appreciate you, man.
Oh no, man, thank you, bro. I think it's been one of those things that it's about experience.
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, none of us were the smartest man in the room. A lot of things we try to give you, I mostly give you from my failures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it. So people are going to listen to you because you were a great boxer.
Yeah.
Right, and you were a champion.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that you share with people are going to be from the L's.
Yeah.
It's going to be from the times you felt like you didn't do the things you needed to do to progress or take the next steps. And so, you win, you earn the platform with your triumphs.
That's interesting, man.
But you teach on your platform with your adversities.
I appreciate you, man. That's why I got you on here, man. Man, you got me in the spot right now. I'm like, dang, I got to go meditate on that.
Y'all relate because y'all world-class fighters.
Yeah.
You going to relate because what's up with Billy's Boudin?
Oh, listen.
I'm from Bunkie, Louisiana.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm down in Alexandria.
Yeah.
So now you want to tell people you from Bunkie, huh?
Hey, so you know a little bit. So it's so crazy.
We need to get one. We need to get some once.
What's the high school? Green and white.
My high school?
Is
red and black.
No. It's was Pineville green
Pineville's green and white.
Pineville's green and white, right? Marksville.
LSU colors.
Yep. So when we played in the state championship, because I played for Shaw, Pineville I think was in like the 4A state championship.
Yeah.
And so, man, when school starts the next year, I meet like these 4 girls and we end up getting cool.
Yeah.
And they were from Bunkie. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm from New Orleans. I was like, what the hell is a bunkie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was the dope part.
Was they fly?
Yeah, they was. I mean,
we got
fly girls in Bunkie.
Okay.
Hey, Sean, I ain't mentioning nobody that ain't.
Yeah, all right,
You know
all
what I'm
right.
saying? Hey, you know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie. It might have been one of my cousins. I ain't gonna say his name. Hey, man, Bunkie is very small.
Hey, real quick before I get you off of here, how people don't know that you're a big boxing fan.
Love boxing.
What you doing here?
Well, so what I'm doing here, actually, Alicia Zubakowski, who produces our podcast, actually oversees All Access for Showtime.
Okay.
Right, so she's the producer of that. And so today we came out and we've been doing a ton of PR stuff here in New York because this is also where our publicist is. They work with Showtime as well.
Yeah.
And, and
I know you do stuff on ESPN.
Well, so I have my own MMA podcast with Daniel Cormier.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so me and my son, man, are combat sport junkies.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we sitting at a table and we just chilling, you look at his phone, he's watching boxing or he's watching UFC. And I think it's one of those things. So when I was playing football, I trained jiu-jitsu, kempo, did different wrestling and grappling because I felt it helped me tackle and do those things. And that's how I kind of fell in love with the sport. And my son would always be like, Pop, can you get me boxing training? And I was like, well, hell, I know DB work. And so like he trained in high school. Part of his training was he'd go to boxing training.
Yeah.
And I guess being able to go to it and see the technique and learn how hard it is and the skill, he just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And so now, man, he's still on my payroll because he played ball at Arizona State.
That's what's up.
So I'm having to send him money for pay-per-views and different things like that. And so we love it, man. And like it's been cool for me to see boxing start to ascend again.
Yes.
Yes. Because I think it parody at one point hurt boxing because we had like Floyd for so long.
Yeah.
And we had that guy standing at top of it.
Yeah.
And so it was okay, we're waiting for him.
Yeah.
Right. And then once we got parody and it was like, nah, we have a ton of good boxers.
Boom, boom.
You know what I'm saying?
I think once the king fall, we realized how many we had under.
Yes, and so now people are starting to realize, nah, we ain't got to wait for that one dude to box.
Right.
Shawn Porter could fight. Spence could fight. Bud can fight. Right. Canelo could fight.
Right.
And so I think, and that's the other thing, and I can ask you this question. I think it's the world got so used to the heavyweight boxing champ being the baddest man in the world.
I said, I said Rocky did that to boxing.
Yeah.
People don't really understand boxing, but they understand film.
Yeah.
And when they have a chance to see that film so many times, they understand that this is what boxing is. And so I think a lot of times when people go to the sport, they're looking for the Rocky. They're looking for the big man that's fighting the small guy. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. So, but I think that the good part about where we're at now, the sport itself and the world itself, is there's so many ways to expose these other guys that now people are really starting to understand, like, okay, so you mean he's 6'5", but he's not a heavyweight?
Right.
He's a light heavyweight? Okay, so and then who else is in that division? Oh, and that fight can be made and so on and so forth. So you get a big fight at 175 a couple weeks ago, where a fight at 175 at one point in time was unheard of.
Right.
Nobody wanted to see it 175 on pay-per-view. Right. But now because of everything that we have, and we have these fighters bringing good entertainment into these different divisions. Now everything is hot. I was surprised to see you here, and then I was putting pieces together. I'm like, okay, I know he's a fight fan. I know he's got ESPN, so maybe he was close for that, and he wanted to do something here. But then when you take a look at the fact that 135 is a hot division right now in boxing, got no reason for you to be surprised, for anybody to be surprised that you're here right now.
Well, I think that's it, and it's also becoming the smaller sizes are becoming the glamour divisions again, right? We taking it back to Sugar Ray. We're taking it back to Roberto, Hagler, Hearns, right? Well, we had all of these good fighters who didn't necessarily have to be heavyweights, but the other piece of it was too, Shawn, they fought each other. Right?
Yeah.
The thing that happened with Floyd that I think soured people to boxing was when he was the best and when other people were the best, they didn't fight.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of been like the thing, was been the push and pull, after, Errol fights you and Bud's on his run. It's like, all right, Errol, like, you had Shawn and you had Garcia, like Bud's out there, like when does this happen? Because that's when people fell in love with boxing, right? Lennox fought Evander. You see what I'm saying? And so I think what's starting to happen is like now that those fights are being made, people are getting excited about it again. And, like even with Roley mentioned about like only having 14 fights, but boxing understood like this was the fight to make. It was an exciting fight, and boxing has to get back to giving exciting fights because the UFC putting on a fight every week where somebody goes to sleep.
Yeah,
we got to get more 50-50 fights.
Yeah.
And Floyd was so damn good. I always tell Shawn, Floyd was one of the greatest things happening to boxing and one of the worst things happening to boxing. Because everybody watch Floyd and they want to see a rumble. He gonna give you sweet science, and it was smart. If I had a son, I'm teaching him the defense. I want my son to survive and live and be like Shawn is now. Floyd is now. I want to be a defensive, sound. But people didn't want to see that when they box. They want to see combat sports.
Well, because that's how. Like I played football, which is a sport of physicality, but I'm also not dumb enough to think it's what boxing is. I'm also smart enough to know that when you can't rely on 10 other guys to, if I make a mistake here, they make a tackle, or if I make a mistake here, they give us another opportunity to defend. In boxing, your right hand slip, you get caught with the left, that might be it. And so I think that part of the science wasn't lost on me, but it's back to kind of what Shawn's saying about movies. Like, Rocky ain't never block a punch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man, Rocky, you're in there with Ivan Drago. He is 6'4", 280 on steroids.
You just took it.
If he hit you 48 times in the first round, you sleep. You know what I mean? And, I think people started to see that and got enamored with that. And so in watching Floyd and watching the defense and watching the technique and the understanding of the sport, there were people who I believe fell in love with it, like me. Like I like getting an opportunity to watch him. It was kind of like watching, Purnell or some of those guys who really just understood it. And I think that was good. But he also understood how to make money more than any boxer as well.
You passed your 5, my dude.
Okay, I'm about to go there.
That's your fault.
I talk too much.
I just want to let you know that's your fault.
Before you go,
ain't nobody coming to see me know it. Oh, I got Tank.
All right,
I got Tank.
Knockout.
Yeah, he gonna knock him out. Well, these two ain't trying to fight to no decision, no way.
No. Tank. Neither of them are trying to fight to a decision, but Tank knows how to get to the decision. See what I'm saying? So the knockout gonna look a little different.
Right, but so in that though, Shawn, if you Roley and you're not trying to get to the decision, you boxed yourself in. When do you start pressing and reaching? Right, because at some point you're like, hold on, I'm not gonna outpoint him.
So this is
where the podcaster comes in. My bad.
It's crazy because it's gonna sound like, what are you talking about? And then the other side of that is like true game planning.
Yeah.
If I was training Roley, I would say, listen, we're not gonna throw no punches in the first round. Guess what? We might not throw 5 punches in the second round. I've had my dad tell me, like, we're not gonna throw no hooks until the 8th round. You hold that hook. Don't show your hand. Roley cannot afford to show his hand. The first moment he puts his foot on the gas and goes at Tank, and Tank finds that rhythm, he's gonna move with it. He's gonna figure it out, and it's a wrap. He's got to allow Tank to get comfortable with, I got control. You the chief. Be the chief. You got control of this round. You got control of this round. Let Tank get control. Let Tank fall asleep. Don't show your speed. Don't show your explosiveness. All this and that. Find points to turn it on around 4th or 5th round. You're going to give up some rounds, but guess what? You can't win no decision anyway.
Right.
So give up those rounds. Don't try to, because you might get.
Yeah.
Allow Tank to take control. Allow Tank to get overconfident. Allow Tank to not see what he can't see.
Try to land
and then start to find moments to throw that craziness that you got.
It is absolutely crazy.
He used to fight.
Duh. You see, I ain't trying to analyze it.
Yeah. He said, all right, let's see if we do that.
I'm going to ask the question. Yeah.
Okay,
let's see if we going to do that.
Well, man, appreciate y'all boys having me on, man. Good seeing y'all, bro.
For sure. Some Billies.
Hey, listen, Ryan Clark, The Pivot. Hey, where's your podcast at? Just on all the podcast
YouTube,
platforms?
Apple,
Yeah, it's on YouTube, all the podcasting platforms, just like this one right here. I'm a big football fan, as y'all know. Big fan of Ryan Clark when he played. And guess what? People say, oh, man, you're really good at that. Honestly, man, like watching guys like him, you learn how to do this stuff before you even get a chance to do it. And then when it's your turn, you go for it. So, I've been paying attention for a long time. Ryan Clark is one of those guys I've been paying attention to since he showed up on the scene.
I thought you was going to say I used to play safety like him.
Oh, no.
You safety?
Yeah, I was a safety.
You play like him?
Not him, no.
You was a hitter?
Yeah, I was a hitter. I was playing more
you
like.
You playing the box?
Nah, I ain't going to say no names because I'm going to be like, oh, you ever playing like him? Yeah. I was free safety. I was everywhere.
Let me. What y'all think you're trying to like? He's a Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, I was like,
you look like a Brian Dawkins.
I was like a Brian Dawkins.
You got the visor?
No, I ain't had the visor. I couldn't afford the visor.
Carson, he was down like Brian Dawkins.
Now we gonna see Showtime Shawn Porter on the pivot at some point in time.
I would love that. I know we'll make that happen eventually. But I'm a big fan of his. Definitely on the TV screen as well. I watch him when he on NFL, all those NFL shows on ESPN and all that good stuff. So. Good dude right there. I'm glad he came over here and gave us a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was solid.
Sean, anything to take notes from Rolly and Tank, the face-off? I know you thought they were gonna get a little crazy.
I did. I thought Rolly was going to try to send a message physically, and I'm not disappointed. I'm glad that the fight. There's no holdups with the fight or anything like that. But don't forget, we still got tomorrow the weigh-in.
Yeah, it ain't over yet. I forgot.
So, I could be wrong, but I expect to see him try to send a message physically.
What does that say? What does that say? Do some guys say, oh, that's nervous energy. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. What do you read into that when these guys are going back and forth? Or if somebody touches somebody, what does that mean?
I've always felt like that. When a guy was talking in the face-off or a guy was saying more than he needed to say at a press conference, I always felt like, okay, either you got some doubts about yourself or you're trying to overdo this to get at me, and that's not going to happen. It's hard to sell a fight by talking too much and by talking too little. You got to find a sweet spot. And it seems like because Tank is who he is in the ring, it's like we accept whatever he's going to say, understanding that eventually that's going to show up in the ring. So Tank is not one of those guys that has to say too much or say too little. Now, when he reacts to Rolly, that it just becomes entertainment for us. We believe Tank based on what he's done. We understand what Rolly has done, but we've never seen him do it against anybody like Tank. You know
Give me a quick boxing glove rating real quick. How'd you rate that trash talk? How many gloves they got?
Like
How many gloves they got?
Tank, I get Tank 4 gloves.
4 gloves?
4 out of 5?
I get Tank 4 gloves.
That's pretty high. Okay.
Okay.
And,
come on, man.
And for Rolly,
he's from Vegas. Come on, man.
I get Rolly.
Hey, come on, man. He's from Vegas.
I get Rolly 3.
3?
Damn, that's a lot. I wouldn't
Two and 3/4.
Was it the low blows? Was it the profanity? What kind of trash talk do you like? Okay.
Everything has to make sense.
Gotcha. It got to be bars.
What did he say one time?
So like me, for instance, when I do my podcast, when I do my TV stuff, I don't normally say things. I don't have like run-on sentences. I never say something and then stop before you expected me to stop. You know what I mean? Like there's the beginning, the middle, and the end makes sense. Rolly was up there saying some stuff that like just didn't make sense.
Yeah, he took it back to kindergarten.
Yeah, did you hear me? I said, yo, that was immature right there. He said, you a girl.
Can you let the people know you're not Caucasian?
Oh yeah. Your boy is.
Let them know where you're from. Put your stuff on there. Let them know.
Spit it to him.
I'm Puerto Rican. You feel me?
Let them know where you from. Let them know where you from.
Nah, I'm from Harlem. I ain't gotta let nobody know. They can think they want to think. I don't know. Wow. What they saying in there?
They thought Shawn brought you back from Ohio.
Yeah, nah, from Ohio over here, from Harlem, baby.
Hey, Shawn, you ever been a face-off and somebody put their hands on you?
No.
I like the Tank kept it simple. He found his joke, and he kept it good.
And you know, my dad be right, like on my shoulder.
Yeah. He was boom.
My dad be on my shoulder. It's only been a couple times we faced off with somebody, and my dad was like, all right, bust a move. You know what I mean?
To them?
So, yeah, like, had that demeanor, like bust a move.
I feel like that. Adrian Broner, right?
AB, and also both ABs, Andre Berto as well.
Oh,
I might be bugging. I swear I did an interview.
And then we calmed down with Berto real quick.
I swear I did an interview with his dad
hyped.
once.
Yeah.
And he told me he studied some martial arts. I think he did karate or
No,
kickboxing, something.
Nothing. A bunch of kung fu movies.
Kung fu movies?
Dad, don't be telling. Yeah.
Nothing.
So my dad's very
Your
flexible.
dad can like just whoop your
and
ass.
my dad can kick, like he can do some kicks and all that kind of stuff,
He
right?
did something. They got a name.
We got this old head.
I gotta talk to Ken.
In the family, and the old head said, "Oh, Kenny, I didn't know you studied the arts." And my dad was like, "What? He said, "I see you kicking. I didn't know you studied the arts." And he said, "Nah, that's just some stuff I know." And so when you talk to him, he probably was just like, "Yeah, I did a little bit of this, did a little bit of that." My dad's a street fighter. Man.
Okay. And you never got into nothing because they're bringing Rolly's martial arts background like a real
I never
thing.
did. My granddad was into kung fu, and you presented me with some nunchucks, man.
Yes,
I appreciate you.
Nunchaku, absolutely.
I got to bring them. I probably have them on when we go back home and do
Check
the show
me out
back
on
home.
TikTok, the Eastside Dragon. I'm getting down to nunchucks.
The Eastside Dragon. I told you I love your nunchuck videos. He's nice with the chucks, yo.
Could you really whoop somebody's ass with the nunchucks if you had to?
Look, man, I'm not gonna put nothing out there that's incriminating, but some nunchuck work has been put in.
You want somebody else with nunchucks?
Yeah,
you want somebody else with nunchucks?
And he got ding. He got the ones that make a sound.
And after you hit him, you gotta bring it back.
Gotta bring it back.
Oh yeah. But we could do that anytime. I got the chucks stay on. I got the nunchucks in the backpack.
Hey, you see me pull out some nunchucks, I'm gonna toss them at you, and as you catch them,
So my dad bought me some heavy ass nunchucks when I was like 12 years old.
Like the ones you got now?
Not heavy. Like the ones he gave me, they're light.
Yeah.
You can be real fast with. These they heavy.
The wooden joints.
No, yeah. The wooden joints. Yep.
Hey, face off. We was talking about that. You ever been?
Thought you were telling me to face off with.
No.
We had that face off. We're gonna put that in the pit. We got a face off in Gleason's from back in the day.
Bet.
Everybody got a face off with Shawn Porter. You ever had a face off with somebody? Obviously, you probably have. And you Mike Tyson said he had it with Evander. When he looked in his eye, he said, "Oh, he coming to fight."
He said that.
Yeah, Evander. He said, "I knew he was coming to fight."
Definitely. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Kiefer's a goofball when he face off. I would say so. I never really.
You ever looked in somebody's eyes and like he don't really mean it? I'm gonna throw a guy out there.
Go ahead. Throw him out.
I thought Shawn was fighting, and I said he ain't really about this.
Who?
The Andre Berto.
Andre Berto.
I said this is fake. This ain't real.
Salute the Berto.
Salute the
Berto.
Salute the Berto. He's a legend. But I didn't feel it.
That's one of Carson's favorite guys.
I didn't feel it.
I got all the Carson knowledge in my head.
Yeah.
He's talking to me telepathically.
There's other guys you face.
Yeah.
And you like he's faking.
I was like, yeah. Well, I wasn't like he faking. I was just like, I'm like, okay, yeah. He know it's about to be real. Yeah, I've been in the ring with some guys that knew it was about to be
Somebody
real.
you fought lately?
I don't want to say no names, man.
Too nice, boy. Too nice. Too nice.
Cause I got to deal with it.
Hey, somebody. Paulie?
Oh, you might be recording. Okay.
Yeah. Does somebody
what about
being
Paulie was ready?
Damn, I don't even remember facing off with
I felt like Paulie was ready. I ain't feel it was.
I don't even remember facing off with Paulie.
What's more telling, the eyes or somebody being so physically imposing? The ripped abs, the big chest, the wide shoulders. What's the thing that could really intimidate a fighter?
I think the eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah. And it's other tales too, like guys that move a lot or guys that ain't gonna look at you. The ones that's about it, they right there and they ready every time. Them the ones that's about it. The ones that's moving, you know what I mean. Nobody wants to look away first. You know what I mean. The one that look away first, you know what I mean. Like I remember when I faced off with Terrence Crawford, I've been like, this is what it is. I'm cool with looking away first because this is what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's been other guys, definitely, I was like, I ain't going to move till you move.
Sean,
You know
I think
what
you fell into that category with, like, a Manny Pacquiao where you guys were, like, the sleepers, where, like, you always got a smile on your face and you're the guy everybody loves and likes, and then you jump on him in the ring and it's kind of like, where'd that come from?
For me, it was never a thing. Like, I didn't smile because I didn't want you to think that I wasn't ready or I was fearful or anything like that. I smiled simply because that's how I felt. And I learned that as I grew in the sport, like, just be yourself. And if you feel good, like, smile. Like, don't hide the smile just because nobody else smiles. Don't hide the smile because you think that nobody wants to see you smile. I started saying F it and just started being myself.
Did you ever feel yourself taking something away from them when you diffused them like that?
I felt like when I faced off with Errol Spence and I smiled, man, that's one. I have a picture of that. It's actually one of my favorite pictures.
What, from behind?
Or
in front?
No, it's just two. One of me looking at him smiling, and then one of me looking at the crowd flexing and smiling.
I think both of you guys in that picture?
Yeah, yup. It was just one of those moments where I felt so good, and when I was looking at him smiling, I could tell that he was just like, yo, you on something right now. like you on something. You know what I mean?
He knew you really believed
yeah,
it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But what else we got?
We here, man. I think we going to close pretty soon.
Yeah.
I didn't see where Eric B went. He might have slipped up out of here, but my man right here, I want to bring him onto the podcast real quick.
Let's do it.
Look. You see him look around. Come get on right quick.
Take a seat.
Yeah, come get on right quick.
You talking about me?
Introduce yourself, sir.
I got to put this on?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to, but yeah.
You don't have to, but.
And then pull the mic to you.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, man? Anthony.
Hey,
how you
nice
doing, man?
to meet you, Anthony. I watch you.
Appreciate it.
I watch you all the time.
I appreciate it, man.
Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, I'm the one and only Wilder hater that a lot of people know me from. Wilder hater, hating on Wilder. I'm not a hater.
Man, don't. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, do that.
I'm not a hater of Wilder. I love Wilder. I'm a very big boxing fan.
Yeah.
You know, I love to critique fighters. I love to help them because a lot of times fighters need this. You know, especially when they get in that square circle. They need a person with an objective mind who can bring different points to them to make them better. And like I was trying to tell him, different things that can make him better.
Give everybody your name.
My name is Eric Neighbors. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Toledo runs boxing in Ohio. Give a shout out to Marcus Hall.
Man. Carson.
Who came up with that saying, Ohio run boxing.
Who came up with that saying?
I think his name Marcus Hall.
Marcus Hall.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. He got that famous saying, Ohio runs boxing. So whenever I use that, I like to give a shout out to him. Because he definitely represents the state of Ohio.
You know, our third, one of our members, Carson, he's going to be on your ass about that.
Oh, well, we got facts, baby. Hey, as long as he come with facts, hey, I ain't mad at
He said the Mud City.
Oh, yes, I'm from Mud, 419, baby. 419 in the building.
Okay.
Yes, not 216 or Akron. I don't know.
216 and 330.
Oh, okay.
Cleveland
okay.
216.
Yeah.
Akron 330.
But it's 419, baby. We got E-Bunny. Give a shout out to Bunny. My boy, Albert the Prince Bell.
Listen,
the most ducked and feared at 130. We want Shakur Stevenson. We want Shakur. I'm sick of.
Hey, Shakur ain't nothing to play with.
Oh, Albert Bell ain't nothing to play with. He's sparring with the boy over in Australia, getting him ready for Devin the Dream Haney.
How you think that's gonna go?
Oh, well, I'm going with Devin the Dream Haney. Let me tell you a story about this. Y'all don't know.
Okay, let's sit back.
Listen, man, we was in Toledo, Ohio, my hometown. Sean's dad, Kenny Porter, brought fighters from cross country. We had like a Golden Gloves tournament there. Big Nate, who be with Mayweather, brought Devin the Dream Haney.
Yeah, Nate.
I'm coaching, not coach. I'm just yelling in the ring like I do because I wasn't the coach, trying to help Toledo fighters beat Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter fighter from Cleveland, Akron area. A little kid come up to me and said, "Man, can you train me?" I looked at him. I had just got off of work. I said, well, man, I'm just trying to help Toledo beat Kenny Porter and them, the Cleveland fighters at this moment. And then I said, maybe next time. And then I went to a Mayweather fight about a month later. I see the kid sitting front row center. I went and tapped somebody. I said, man, who is that kid? He said, that's Devin Haney. He's the #1 kid in the nation. And I think back on it, I said, game recognized game. I said this, that young boy, I knew he was destined to be great, and he definitely will be the undisputed 135-pound champ. When he recognized me, Eric Neighbors, the boxing guru, a.k.a. Wilder hater, I knew that guy was special from the boxing guys, and he will win.
He has to win by knockout?
No, Devin just going to be Devin. I don't want Devin to get caught up on being something you're not. A fighter got to be who they are.
You don't need to be a knockout artist.
No.
You're a technician.
You the art of boxing, baby. Stick to it. Stick and move and groove.
Devin Shakur.
Devin and Shakur? Oh, I like Devin at this point. Even though if Shakur was getting him over and sparring then, but Shakur just got a basic style to me. That's why I want him to fight my boy Albert the Prince Bell. Shakur in and out, hook in and out. So anybody that box with him will learn that rhythm.
But
he's
special.
No.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all real quick why I brought him on the show. Then we're gonna get right back to what you just said. We would run into you all the time. My dad, myself, and my dad. We run into you all the time. You would always be telling us some stuff, and my dad would be like, man, we should just do it everywhere. And then we happen to be sitting not far from you, hearing you yell, as you do it every fight. And my dad looked at me and he said, you know what, that dude actually know what he's talking about. So we laughed, and we kept it moving. And then we would start to see you, and we start to hear the things that you're saying. My dad started to see some stuff of yours on YouTube and stuff like that. And he said, look, man, this dude know what he talking about. So that's why I brought you on the podcast, because you're a big boxing fan.
Yes,
you're a fan of the podcast. And you know this thing.
Yes, I love boxing. Boxing is in my heart, baby.
You did not miss that at all. Shakur is an in and out.
Yes.
Shakur is a straight line fighter.
Exactly.
That can move left and move right when needed.
Exactly.
But he's perfected it.
Yes, against who?
He's perfected it against everybody he needed to perfect it against. That way, anytime he gets in the ring with anybody else, his job's done.
Yes, against the style of opponents that the matchmaking over at Top Rank been picking against.
For sure.
That's why, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, Albert the Prince Bell and Shakur Stevenson mirror up. A boxer against a boxer.
Yeah.
Albert is long, quick.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
So Shakur, when he lost in the Olympic trials, who did he lose? A boxer, a come forward, aggressive style boxer, who, when he stepped back, they still coming at him.
But he's not the same boxer from Olympic trials.
Well, me, I just believe this.
No, he's not.
A leopard don't change his spots, baby.
He doesn't, and it's going to take a little bit more than what anybody has presented to Shakur to get to him.
Exactly.
But the part of boxing that you can't measure, that mental game that you can't measure.
Exactly.
When you get in the ring with a guy and you know the range, you know the distance.
Yes.
Why am I second guessing myself? Why am I hesitating?
Exactly.
Why am I not just throwing my shots? I've been there before as a fighter.
Exactly.
And I know that every fighter that's been in the ring with Shakur to this point, he does something to them, and they get to that point.
Yes, those style of fighters. Like I said, when you have a excellent fighter,
and it's because he's perfected what he does.
Right. When you have an excellent fighter and an excellent trainer that teaches you, that's why I want all the young fighters who listen to this podcast. You got to understand who your style is like. You got to look at the great fighters before you. Like me, the great fighters I call, it's only the few great ones. You got to understand how they fought different style of fighters, so you'll know what just Shawn said. When a fighter step out of range, you got to double jab, keep your defense tight to get close to him, then make him uncomfortable. So when you understand that, not just from your trainer, you got to watch and understand, how did Sugar Ray get in a long-range jab like Tommy Hearns? How did they do that? Not just with one single shot. You got to double jab and triple jab sometimes. You got to catch and shoot, different things of that nature. So when you understand that, That's how you can beat somebody like a Shakur Stevenson, because you're going to offset his rhythm. That's what made Shawn so great. Even though his size and height was his work rate and his ability and his agility to offset a lot of those fighters, they couldn't beat him. I picked you over Bud. I picked you because I knew once you got close to Bud, it was going to offset everything. And you was dominating him in the first 3 rounds, and you was like, in my opinion, going half Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't full throttle.
Yeah.
So me, I already know that agility and a lot of these fighters is programmed. If you let them sit there and do their thing, they're gonna be beautiful.
There's
but
three
if you
things.
offset their rhythm,
There's 3 things, three major components that need to be there when you fight: physically,
yes,
mentally,
you got to be
and emotionally.
Yes.
And if one of those are out of sync, even when you are as good as a Robert Bell, I know him personally.
Albert Bell.
Oh, excuse me, Albert Bell.
Robert
I put
Easter.
Robert Easter. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And when you are as good as an Albert Bell,
Yes.
and you're going up as good as somebody as good as a Shakur Stevenson. Shakur, I have not seen all 3 components shooting, not shooting.
Right.
And my thing is who's going to get in the ring and be able to allow all 3 of those components to move simultaneously, along with a game plan, along with adjustments, along with speed, quickness, power.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm not even arguing you against Albert Bell. Would love to see that fight between him and Shakur Stevenson. I think right now Albert is a quiet storm.
Oh yes.
In the
he's
130
definitely-
division.
Yes, he's definitely.
And
that.
it's one of those things where, in the future, it
Oh,
don't need
yes,
to be
yes.
made yet.
Well, I had to just bring it up because, like I said,
You want to let him know.
Oh yes. Well, 419 is in the building.
What's
man.
Albert's record?
Oh, Albert is 21 or 22-0. He's
Okay.
sparring George Kambosos right now.
Where's his ranking?
Albert is ranked number 4 or 5 in the WBO. He was with ESPN. And then I believe, this is just my opinion, I just believe that's why they moved Albert out of the way, because if Albert would have kept fighting on their network, a lot of fans would be saying what I'm saying right here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because they would have had to be on the collision course.
Yeah.
ESPN matchmaking could not just, okay, we're going to put him in there with Oscar Valdez, who don't move forward. Now we're going to put him in there with this guy who don't move forward, this and that. So that's what I was saying. But for 419 in Ohio boxing, we have to, do what we can to get that exposure.
He's the next guy from Cincinnati?
Oh, no, Toledo.
My bad. Toledo.
Albert, we got many of them. We got Albert, we got Big Baby Jared Anderson, the future heavyweight champion.
Big Baby got to get it right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's young. He's ready. He's ready when the timing comes. He will be the next American heavyweight champion, definitely. Big Baby Jared Anderson from 419. We run it. Ohio runs boxing, baby. We got other fighters coming up on the circuit. Oh, we doing major things. Yeah, we got Bam. So we got fighters. Antoine Jones. We got all of them. We waiting on Bunny to return. The return of Robert East. Oh, we doing it. Yeah, so we just waiting on our moment. And that's what my job is, to keep Toledo and young fighters sharp. Not just from Toledo. Is you have to understand who you are, and you got to understand your gifts and understand the art of boxing. If you're going to be in this sport, you got to understand your gift and how it matches up with your opponent.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Shawn. No matter who he stepped in there, his rhythm and his agility always kept him in the fight. It made it a winnable fight for Shawn. It was just a few things they had to tweak, but Shawn was definitely always there, and I knew that. That's why I had much
appreciate you,
runs
man.
boxing.
Yes.
Shout out to YouTube and everything.
Yes, definitely. Yes. So
wanted to get you on real quick, man, because I know
thank you.
I know you pay attention to the show.
Yes, I was.
And I know you were standing here. I was
I
was
was enjoying it.
I don't know if we'll get another opportunity to do this, so let's do it right now.
I was hoping God answered my prayers.
Yeah.
Yes, God answered my prayers.
That's what's up.
And I'm happy because I got a chance to sit down with the Porters. I wanted to come to y'all gym when you fought Earl Spence, because I knew that was a winnable fight. Everybody thought I was crazy, but let me say, everybody thought I was crazy when I said this. I knew Shawn could beat Earl.
Let me say, disclaimer too, real quick. You don't choose fighters Like you're not saying I would win that fight just because I'm from Ohio.
No.
Like you are somebody that really kind of.
No, I looked at the style. I looked at the style because I knew what it took for you to beat him.
Yeah.
It's just like this. I know what it takes for him to beat you. Yeah. So I'm not biased. I'm not a bias. And
except when it comes to Toledo.
Yes, no, I'm not biased with that. In my hometown, a lot of them call me haters.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's because you give it to them real?
Yeah, because I said that about Wilder. People I grew up with, man, they don't know I went around begging Sam Watson them for years. They don't know the story. Ask Sam. I'm begging him. Look at Toledo. Look at Toledo fight. We'll whoop him. Ask Ellie Setback. Ellie Setback can tell you he know about Robert Easter because of me and Albert Bell because of me. Before they was even superstar, he told people. He told me. He told what you call him, brother. Mikey Garcia, brother, all of them. He told all of them. Robert, he told all of them. Man, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't have knew who Robert Easter was.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, we're going to get up out of here.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
Oh, much love.
Ohio runs boxing.
Yes, give a shout out to Marcus Hall. That's his slogan. I love that. Yes, so definitely.
See you later, all right?
Okay, thank you, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Listen, press conference is closing up.
We're the last ones.
They starting to shoot, set up for a shoot. We are going to get out of here, everybody. Listen, the Porterway podcast has not figured out what we're going to do yet for tomorrow or Saturday.
Should we make a stops?
Yeah, we're gonna make them. We're gonna make a couple stops.
I'm gonna have to call Dane.
No. We're not gonna. Yeah, no, we're good at the barbershop. We just we about to
go by there.
We're at the shop now to figure out if we're gonna do that tomorrow or Saturday. Listen, we're gonna keep y'all in tune via social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Hey, we might be riding around in the hood with.
We're not gonna ride around in the hood.
I'm all about hitting. I'm all about hitting local shops, supporting people.
Me and Ant gonna be riding around the hood. You know what I mean?
Going up to the Chinese spot, the Jamaican. Shout out to my Haitian boy. You know,
I'm not hating on the hood. I'm just saying, like I don't. New York, it take too
you
long to get everywhere. And
if you got a driver.
I'm going where we need to go, and then I'm going back to my room because I'm not about to be.
Would it be quicker
on the train?
Would it be quicker for us to take the streets than the freeway last night dropping you off?
The train would probably been quicker.
I ain't taking the damn train. I ain't taking.
Yeah.
I was literally.
You said the streets. What you mean walking? You said the streets.
When I got on the plane, I was told you're not taking a train out there.
I definitely don't suggest it.
That was strong.
I mean,
keep in tune via social media. We're gonna let y'all know when and where tomorrow.
All right, Dan, we'll see you
ASAP.
All right.
Talk to y'all soon. Have a blessed day.
Porterway Podcast.
Peace out. Later, Carson.